Hello and welcome back to Planet Stronghold Colonial Defence. I'm afraid their efforts are in vain. It's hard to make an emotional impact when your opponents can literally turn off their fear. If it makes the Apex around feel better, then who are we to argue? And yet you seem disturbed by this, Lucius? Unlike the Discorians, I was made in human's own image, and this includes the ability to emote. And represents a quantum leap in robotics. Unfortunately, political pressure back home prevents us from building more than one unit. Much easier to sleep at night if one's slaves have no emotions. Robot is a Czech term, means serf labour, or a slave. I think I remember the fight that came about. A good number of people actually wanted Lucius to appear as something less than human. Shh! I believe Alpha Shalurix is over there. Is this all you have? Please. You're an embarrassment to mechanicals everywhere. The initial survey of Apex Round procedures complete. Initiating termination protocols in 3, 2... Give me one good reason not to break your mechanical man into a million pieces for shooting at me. Take a closer look, Alpha Shalurix. It wasn't shooting you. The Discorian you but the Discorian head you held. Correct. Discorian termination protocols result in an explosion. There is no honor in killing oneself, nor letting one kill you. Dead is dead, however it happens. Why should it matter? Because some Apex Round's ideas of heaven is an eternal battleground. When you die, those you've killed will serve you in the afterlife. But if the Discorians being robots have no souls, then when you die it is a futile death. Yet another reason to hate mechanicals. They are lowering war down to its most common denominator. Why, when I was younger, war was much harder. You'd go to battle uphill both ways in the middle of a sandstorm. I almost sounded like my father there for a moment. He used to like to tell such stories, at least until I separated his head from his neck. So, Captain, what brings you to my domain? And here I thought I had an invite. Well, I guess I can turn my army around and head back home. You're quite right, Captain. Sorry, I forgot. Heat of battle and all that. Damn, and here I was looking forward to making a few scrap heaps. Ah, the vigour of youth. A few of our younglings could take after your spirit. I do have a question, Captain. Is it wise to bring your mechanical here, knowing how my people feel about them? Doesn't matter. There's just no satisfying some people. They'd probably whine even if they were shot at with a new laser. Apex Round do have a strong isolationist streak after all. And that is why they are lowly soldiers and mercenaries, and I am the Alpha. Anyone with experience can tell that this was just a first encounter. The true battle is yet to come, and that is why I will accept your alliance. Captain, are you sure you want to do this? I'm sure the Alpha has more warriors than this. How much do you want to bet they're being held back to keep their slaves from revolting? We've been over this. Whether we like it or not, it's what our leaders desire. Here's a crazy thought, but why not offer freedom to some of your slaves in exchange for fighting for you? They've done that, actually. About 50 years ago, they were being pressed hard by the Paladrains and Madrins. Of course, after their victory, the slaves were let go to make their own way. Except that wasn't the case. A field of bodies was found not too long after, bones picked clean. There is little as enjoyable as raising someone's hopes, and then turning into ashes in their mouth. Captain, more Discorians are on the way, and this time they're feeling a greater force. Why do we ally with these kinds of people? Seriously. Oh, well, they are the very definition of complete bastards. Ah, well. Still, we've got a heals +5. Ooh. And +1 attack when an enemy unit takes damage. Ooh. So, yeah, so he gets stronger as the battle goes on, which is nifty. We'll get the artillery tank in there, I think. Okay, you. Ah, right, of course. Got to destroy the bloody wall. Deploy the hover tank, which does at least have charge. Assault infantry. Fire. Okay, lost the assault infantry, which is a pity. But holy hell, I've just noticed how much... There isn't an upper limit on his damage, is there? He's going to become bloody brutal. Take that out, please. He's up to 9 damage in a single... Wow. Ooh. 11. Bloody hell. 12. Oh. He is just... Yo. I mean, wow. Nothing like a wonderfully, wonderfully overpowered unit, is there? Deploy a missile turret. Kill it, please. He's now doing 15 damage a hit. Jesus, that was wonderful. Well fought, Captain. Now no Apex Ran will gainsay our alliance. Anointed in blood, as it were. Spectrum analysis says oil and hydraulic fluid, actually. Shame these are simple mechanicals. From your skills, your harvest would be rich. Harvest? Slaves, Charlotte. To the victor go the spoils, and that includes slaves. Is your warrior alright? She looks gaunt. I could loan her a person or two until she regains her composure. That will not be necessary. Proceed to the final battle. I still can't wrap my head around the fact that Discorians left us alone. Perhaps they don't want to expose themselves more than they did. I mean, they left themselves wide open. That was an exploratory expedition, not a full-fledged fighting force. I know some officers who could learn the Discorians' discretion. The bodies littering the ground were real enough. Oh, don't get me wrong, if the Discorians could prevail, they certainly would have. However, those units were considered expendable. Why not? Mass-produce soldiers who don't question authority. Sounds like everything the military could desire. Especially the killing aliens thing. Yeah, the Discorians passed that with flying colours. Yeah, the colour of blood. For which I'm thankful my mothers gave me free will. Once again, don't call me that. Oh, you're just sorry took me out for lunch on Mother's Day and you didn't go. The Discorians said they wanted their captain's approval. That's going to follow me for the rest of my career. Besides, I think the Discorians had another plan in mind. I have to agree, the Discorians already knew as much about us as they could. Military capabilities, tactics, strategy, everything. What they lacked was practical experience, which they certainly now have in spades. At least tell me we know where the Discorians are. The best defense is a strong offense, after all. I can help you there, Captain. We've regained control of our satellites and located the Discorians' home base in the desert. Good. I didn't want to comb the deserts with a metal detector strapped to my back. Yes, but they couldn't hide it forever. For one thing, they couldn't hide the pollution they emitted. You know, maybe my next deployment will be somewhere with more water and less sand. It would be nice to fight in a beach instead of a wasteland. Not me. You know how easily I burn? Trust me, my skin matching my hair isn't a good thing. And surveillance indicates an increase in activity. They're already replacing their numbers. Do they have any other bases elsewhere? No, Captain. I've scoured the planet and nothing else has come up. Good. I hate to say it, but this may be our best shot at taking out the Discorians. Agreed. However, is the rest of the colony... How safe is the rest of the colony if we take the battle to the Discorians? There is a missing word there. I've noticed the odd typo here and there, but yeah, nothing major usually, but you know, I will bring it up in the review. All of the civilians are accounted for, and in the appropriate shelters. Aww. Oh, don't be so insecure, you know you're one of us. Aww. I do have one favour to ask. If something should happen to me, well, make sure my daughter gets a good home. Nothing is going. Xavier, I know better. Captain, promise me. I give you my solemn word. All structural damage is repaired, though when we get a moment of peace, some of the buildings really should be replaced. No, Mario, you're just looking for an excuse to make the base beautiful. Is there a problem with that? Nonsense, I wholeheartedly agree, especially if you start putting up statues. Don't worry, I already figured to erect one of you in the science park. Erect, You know, one of these days I'm just going to show you just how good a miner you are by burying you alive. Christoph, how are the ordnance supplies? Enough to make 1,000,000 Bastille days. Just say the word and I can unleash hell on Stronghold. Do the Discorians know we're on the move? Not yet, Captain, but given how you destroyed their alien expeditions, they do figure they are next. Before you ask, our communications are secure as they'll ever be. Even better, I cooked up something which will hurt them if they come snooping. Just promise to keep it away from my hard drive. I feel corrupted just knowing it exists. Didn't know people could do that with a spoon, a vacuum, and... How is our mechanized support? Top shape, Captain. Well, I'm gonna brain the person who put the Royal Coach bumper sticker on my jack. Ouch, that sounds like an uncomfortable ride. I'll get even for this, Xavier, just you wait. I've cooked up a few surprises as well, Captain. For example, we now have some magnesium flares that should overload their sensors for a few moments, enough to take out a swath of Discorians. Excellent. How are the soldiers? My rangers and advanced recon are in position. So far they haven't been discovered. Not to mention my rebels will be giving them some support. The rest of my people are safely hidden away. I noticed they weren't with the base's civilians. No offense, but if we lose, the base is going to be the first target of retaliation. My people deserve at least a running start. And our robots are ready to assist. Between Mitsuki and I, they'll obey us and not the Discorians. Damn straight. And our medical staff is ready, though I know they're going to be swamped once the fighting starts. Talk, talk, talk. Planet, give me strength, your surfaces are all the same. You're rather impatient for a rock. I should bury you for that insult. Focus on your true enemy, King Igneous. Fear not. The Borer grubs will bring their walls down, and we'll fill the tunnels with their dead. I'm glad you're on our side. For now. New alien cards unlocked. Only available for this last mission. Borer grub swarm. Giant Borer grub, excellent. Captain, the Drayden say they're ready as well, but they're well away from our positions. Do you doubt my word, human? Foolish. My raiders will take their pound of flesh. What my mate should explain is that yes, your soldiers will make first contact, but his soldiers will flank the robots. And hiding your true strength. Exactly. When next we meet, it shall be victory at our feast. I will provide the meat. Better not be human, then don't fall in battle. If you're even serious, stop teasing the humans. When we next meet, the desert will claim her due, but our songs will ring with victory. Drayden Shaman, Drayden Vanguard. So, Captain, do you have an appropriate shelf for your war trophies? Pardon? This promises to be a glorious battle. It would be a shame not to commemorate it. I have the feeling the captains will be decorated appropriately for their actions. Meaningless. So you make your chest shiny with medals that just screams target. Why do I get the feeling you've been crafting drinking cups from the skulls of your enemies? Only the worthy ones. What do you do with the others? Give the bones to the loosened hounds. They need their calcium. Ah, dear, oh dear, oh dear. I'm surprised you didn't try to run. I'm a woman of my word, dear Captain. So let the dreary battle commence. I'm surprised you aren't more excited for the fight to come. You usually complain about being bored. Oh, you certainly get a surge of adrenaline in war, but when you get down to it, anyone can fight. Whereas an epic act of deceit will make you a legend. I'm glad you retained some touch of our connection. Enough to keep an eye out for your tricks. Alamadra. Final mission. Discorian Base. Here we are, the Discorian factory. Let's win this for Queen Regina. I always hate the calm before battle. Funny, never expected you to yearn for battle. Actually, I get what Cresselia is saying. The quiet always seems unbearably long, but then once battle is joined, having a laser aimed at your head tends to focus your attention on more important matters. In either case, your problems are done one way or the other. Assuming we survive, I may take a sabbatical from reporting. I have more than enough footage to make a documentary. That actually sounds good, but don't be afraid to take a little creative license. Oh? Well, you would have a good chance to actually name some of these battles. If it got out our last skirmish was in a factory. Oh, I can see it now. Factory Recall, the final deficit. Ugh, that sounds more like a bad parody film. Lola, this will be the time you need a rousing score. Something in the tradition of John Williams, or maybe Wagner. Ugh, if somebody played Wagner, I'd have to shoot myself. If it helps, Lola, I could whistle. I could hum. I could play the armpit. What are you all staring at? Well, if we wanted to try an auditory assault, we have it covered. But are we authorized to use weapons of mass destruction? Captain, I may need to replace my optic receivers, but a Discorian is approaching, and tied to its arm is a white flag. Well, with that interesting development, that's a fine point to end this part, so thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next.